The Wizard of Oz is notorious for having many strange events that occurred on set. This video will delve deeper into the mysteries surrounding the controversial filming of the 1939 classic. Number 1. The Tin Man's deadly suit. Viewers of The Wizard of Oz would know the Tin Man to be Jack Haley, however the original actor of the role was given to Buddy Ebsen. Ebsen was given the role of the Scarecrow, however he switched to the Tin Man after Ray Bolger insisted he would be a better fit. Ebsen had completed all his costume and makeup tests, recorded his songs for the film soundtrack, and completed 4 weeks of rehearsal. 9 days later, however, he was rushed to hospital and placed in an oxygen tent when his lungs failed. Ebsen quoted in his autobiography that one night in bed I woke up screaming. My arms are cramping from my fingers upwards and curling simultaneously, so I could not use one arm to uncurl the other. Thankfully, Ebsen eventually recovered, and still to this day we can hear some of his singing in parts of the movie. Ebsen later passed away in 2003 due to breathing complications. Could this have had any long-term repercussions?
Number 2. Lung cancerous Snow. In the iconic poppy field scene, directly after all the main characters have met, we see the Wicked Witch of the West cast a spell on Dorothy, which puts her to sleep. The spell is counteracted by the Good Witch of the North when snow begins to fall onto the characters. This snow, however, was something rather frightening to look back on, as the substance used was in fact asbestos.
Tin Man actor Jack Haley's son died at the age of 67 in 2001 due to respiratory failure. Although it might have been a long shot in saying that this was the cause of his death, there is potential that it did have some sort of influence. Did the snow really have lasting effects and ultimately end his life?
Number 3. Actually melting witch. We know that the Wicked Witch of the West melts at the end of the film when she has a bucket of water thrown onto her. However, actress Margaret Hamilton was actually burnt during filming on set. When the Wicked Witch departs Munchkin Land, she disappears after a set of flames engulf her body. Unfortunately, Hamilton was burnt during a take of this scene when the crew started the fire too early. Scalding her chin, the bridge of her nose, her right cheek and the right side of her forehead, the eyelashes and eyebrows of her right eye had been burnt off. Her upper lip and eyelid were badly burned. When she looked down, the skin had also been burnt off her hand. It took Hamilton 6 weeks to recover from the accident, but would have to wear green gloves rather than makeup as the nerves in her hand were still exposed. Upon her return, she was asked to do another scene involving fire, and she declined, leading to the studio having to find a stunt double. The stunt double didn't appear to have any better luck, as she too was caught on fire and had to spend 11 days in hospital. Clearly, this scene was dangerous and is just another story that adds to the strange production of the film.
Number 4. The Hanging Munchkin. Potentially the most controversial thing to ever happen upon any production set. After Dorothy and the Scarecrow meet the Tin Man, the scene ends with the 3 characters singing and continuing their path down the yellow brick road. Whilst that was all part of the script, there was something that wasn't, lurking in the background of the scene. While this hasn't and probably never will be confirmed or not, many believe this to be a munchkin who has committed suicide on set. The studio, however, claims it was a shadow of a bird, in which it was in the 1989 re-released version of the film. Some people say that removing the swinging figure and replacing it with an actual bird is actually a cover-up, and it doesn't make it look all that believable that the original was a bird at all. While many other ridiculous situations occurred on the set, you wouldn't be surprised if this was actually true after all.
Number 5. Skinny Dorothy. As many people know, Judy Garland, the actress who played Dorothy, died from a drug overdose 30 years after the film. At just 17 years old when she played the much-loved character, she was given tobacco in order to suppress her appetite, and the studio was extremely strict on her diet. Not only was she forced to be thin, but she was also told to always be energetic. By the end of filming, Garland would have an addiction to amphetamines and barbiturates. What could be a simple coincidence, Garland died at the age of 47 due to an accidental overdose of barbiturates. Garland had also attempted to kill herself multiple times, the first notable occasion being in 1947, 8 years after the film had been released. Being a female in general was never easy in those years, but with added pressure to keep an acceptable figure by the studio's standards could definitely have led to Garland suffering from mental health issues and unfortunately leading to her death.
Number 6. Misbehaving munchkins. The what appears to be jolly people in Munchkinland had their fair share of issues during filming. Lead actress Judy Garland had claimed that some of the munchkins would grope her, which is bad enough in itself. However, Dorothy was still a child when she had been filming the movie. It is also said by Garland that the munchkins were drunks and would party all night. It beckons the question whether the Munchkin actors were even in the right state of mind when it came to filling scenes for the movie. The claims of the Munchkins assaulting Garland was never confirmed as being true. However, it would make little difference now, with every actor in the film now dead.
What are your opinions on these stories? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments.